Your number one thing that you need to do for yourself is keep your headspace in the right place, right? So you do whatever it takes to do that. And at the beginning of January, we talked about setting our win for the quarter, that sometimes people tend to go, oh, I want to be a national marketing director. And yet it's so far away that they don't even start. Or they set a goal so big that they're just setting themselves up for failure. So instead, I said, well, let's talk about, what do you want for the quarter, right? What would be some things that you want for the quarter? And I know a bunch of you guys are doing a team. And I wonder if I can, this is going to take me off where I can't see you guys, but I want to share my screen again over here. Of course, is it going to let me do this? Okay, so this is the time that we want to set our win again, okay? Because winning is better than not winning, and I love that. I love that statement. And you know, when we set ourselves up for failure, one is if we set our goals way too big, we don't like to do anything that we're not sure we can succeed at. So what I want you guys to do is go, okay, what did you do last quarter? Like, did you get your win? And I know some of you did, some of you maybe didn't, maybe you got part of it. That to me is still a win. Okay, so you want to set something that you know you for sure can do. Okay. And again, and this is a repeat, so I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. There's two kinds of people. What does your voice tell you? I can't win, so why try? Or maybe you're like, hey, winning is everything, try anything. So either way, it's up to you to, again, keep your headspace in that right space and to pick something that is going to move you forward in your business so that you can build your organization and be, you know, growing, and you have every tool that you need right now. You are good enough, you are strong enough, you have all the verbiage you need, you have an amazing product and an amazing company behind you. Okay, so you know, what's the win? You want to set these wins maybe also for your relationships, financially, maybe some family wins, and then of course professionally. So if you don't define a win for yourself, you're just going to kind of run through life and you'll adopt somebody else's. So the other thing is you don't want to settle for not goals. And those are goals like, well, I'm not going to do this and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like that anymore. You want to do I am goals, like what you are going to do. Okay. So let's decide what is the win this quarter. Okay. What is it you're trying to get to? That would be first. I want you guys to give some thought to that. Okay. You know, you want that win at the end of this quarter. And again, you also want something to shoot for. Does anybody want to share? I'm going to stop this share and I'll come back to this. But does anybody want to share what their win was for the last quarter and what they got accomplished? Go ahead, Sue.
I will just let you know that I've been watching my numbers, you know, when you go in and you look at the little data that goes up and down. I, for the first time ever in my business, hit over 12,000.
Woohoo!
Yes. Yes, and I know technically to be an SSC, you have to maintain over 12,000 for consecutive 2 months in a row, as I remember correctly. So this last month I was at 12,000. I've been at 11,450 for the last 2 months. And then this month, or excuse me, for March, I should say, I hit that 14,000 tier, which is what I wanted to do. Now, as you and I know, Reagan, we're going to discuss this. I don't have quite the structure for SSC, but at this point, if I'm maintaining over 12,000, I have the volume that's necessary. Right. So now it's just for me working on really getting my team and really growing my team for the next 3 months. And so,
awesome.
Yeah, so those numbers, that was a personal goal for me. So, and
so it sounds like your win will be adding X number of team members. Yes.
I have it right here all written down and how I'm going to go about it. My 2x2x2x2, but that's still a daily that I do every day.
So. Fantastic. And by the way, I also wanted to just give you kudos again on such a great call last week. Oh. So we can see why you're over 12,000.
Yes, all those happy little customers, and they're all so damn happy. It's a beautiful thing. Now I just have to move them along to being considered being reps. So that's verbiage for me. It's for me to just work on that. So awesome. Thank you again.
Who else set a win and went for it?
Well, I decided last quarter that I wanted to get 3 new team members. And while I didn't get the 3 new team members, I definitely upped my conversations with people. So I feel like that that is a win for me. And, I can kind of roll that over into this quarter, and perhaps some of those conversations that I had before will turn into something else, and I can just, keep growing with that. But I am glad that I continued with those conversations and I increased the
Awesome.
people I was talking
So
to.
that's a win because you're going towards that, and maybe you reset the same win for this
Yeah.
quarter and put it where you can see it every day. You guys put it by your computer, right?
Yep.
Yeah, good idea.
Awesome job.
And I just want to add a little bit to that. We had, some customers, still not team members, that we'd love to be able to add. But what I'm really most thrilled about is that Bobby and I both finished 18. We finished, I think, 3 18s now, and it could be so easy. It's interesting when you watch the numbers of people who are on. I realize they have Facebook people who can watch that aren't showing up on the Zoom, but every week the numbers go down and down and down. By the time the end is there, I mean, it's almost in half of the people that drop out. So the fact that we just even have hung in there this many, and we're going to be doing the second quarter one as well. So to me, that is a big win for us, is hanging in there and staying active.
Awesome job. And you're right. And that's why you guys, if you want 10 frontline, you got to recruit 20 because it's just the way it is. I love Jim Rohn says, why? I don't know. I didn't sign up for that class. It's just people, right? I mean, why does somebody decide not to continue to grow their business? I don't know. I didn't sign up for that class, so so when you guys set this win, maybe for you look and say, you know what, I want to qualify my business. Maybe you're just getting started and you want to qualify your business, and you want to, maybe a win for you would be to have X number of, Zoom presentations or in-home presentations so that you could get X number of customers and so many people, partnering with you. So you kind of work it backwards to your activity, because you can't just put it out there and then not actually create the action plan to do it. So I also want to thank the girls, Jenna, and everybody that's doing the online events that they opened up to the team. Thank you. That is awesome. So again, something else for us to build for, to invite people to. Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead, Mary Beth.
Unmute. I'm just still here. So that's
okay.
That's my win.
Well,
it's still
if you go missing, we'll come find you.
And
so.
Getting to know more people on the teams. And I have been reading a book that I wanted to share with people. It's called, the author is Shad Helmstetter, and it is there you go.
Oh, I love that.
Say when you're talking to yourself. And it's very interesting. You probably all know, but we are constantly talking to ourselves. And you need to listen to what you're saying because you want to make that positive, and you can do whatever you want. So
it's true, isn't it? Like, it's amazing how we can change the conversation, but we don't, right?
Right.
So that's great. Would you mind posting that up in our Facebook group?
Why, certainly.
Thank you. Awesome. Missy, you had one?
Well, to be honest, I can't remember what my goals were planned, but I do know that when Jenna said it, I did say I was going to get 3 team members, and I did do that. So that was a huge win that I'm shocked at. And so that whole idea of putting it out there kind of goes with what Mary Beth was saying. But you say in here, by putting it out there, you're saying it in here, and that's kind of what needs to happen. And then being gone on vacation this month, I can now kick it back in, and I have some plans for moving ahead and getting myself back into it, because I think it's okay to take a vacation but then come back.
Well, it's actually important that you do that, because I'm forgetting the name of the book. I'd have to go dig it, but there's a book about that where they took elite athletes, and if they overtrained, they didn't perform well. And if they rested too long, they didn't perform well. So building in some celebrations, which we're going to talk about in just a second. So anyway, awesome job on, I know that was what your win was, and you did it. So fantastic. Okay, so again, you are where you are. Start here. You can't go back and change the past. So, I love, Jenna, how you reframed that with, I didn't get all of it, but this is what I did get. So celebrating what you did get, that's really, really important, right? But, coming up, you guys have a whole new quarter, a new future. You want to run in a way to get the prize. Just don't run around aimlessly. And, again, paying that price in order to have that win. Sometimes you have to say no, and I don't need to go back through that same story, but, sometimes you got to say, I can't do that right now because I promised myself I was going to build for this event or whatever. Okay. So, what do you want to accomplish by the end of the quarter for personal growth? How about your organizational growth? I think that's the most important one, quite honestly. And income growth will come with organizational growth and personal growth, just so you know. But if that's what you focus on, okay. So I'd love for you guys to, share. You could either share on Voxer or Facebook group or next week on our call, what you want your win to be. And I think there's some power in declaring it, right? Don't you think?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
That's kind of what I was just saying, that to declare it, it's myself that I have to declare it too.
So who here is willing to post their win, their wanted win underneath? I'll put a post up, put it on there. And I only will allow you to do this if you promise to put blinders on. And just because yours isn't as, vivacious as Audra's or whatever, right? That you're okay with what you put on there. Is that a deal? Okay, because we all have different time. Some of us have jobs, some of us are traveling, some of us have, a different want and different desire, and all of that is okay. So let's go get some people healthy and go with that. Okay. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording.